Hey, you guys. I've been sitting with this for a bit in myself, but wanted to talk about today the idea of pity versus compassion. Now, this is something I realized recently. I feel what I've grown up with, and we see this in society a lot, right? Is people confuse pity with compassion. So let's give an example. When you hear pity, what do you think of? Usually I think of it's like, oh, poor you, oh, poor them, they're going through that, right? The separation. So you're separating them from you, right? And what I've found is this is something that I've had in my life where it's like, where we can confuse pity for love. A perfect example is if you've grown up around people or have known anyone who didn't take responsibility for their shadows, right? Oh, and so let's say they do something just doesn't rub you the right way. You express your feelings about it because you value the relationship, you express your feelings about it. And then instead of someone being present with you, being present with themselves and being aware, they say, I did that because, right? And so now it's not about the presence of acknowledging the feelings you have or acknowledging what was done and the impact, but now the conversation becomes about them and about their feelings, right? And what they thought about your feelings. I know this is very relatable, and again, I'm going to stay away from using the words narcissistic because let's look at the concepts that are there. Let's look at all the concepts, and what I found the real issue is like pity versus compassion, right? So in society, we've been conditioned to often be pitiable, right? Or pity others, and we're rewarded for it, right? Think about how many options are available to help us when we're when we're crying, when we're having a bad day. People feel bad for us and they want to help. Here, take this. Oh, you're having a bad day, or here, have a chocolate. Oh, you're having a bad day, things are hard, here, have a drink, right? So you're rewarded for the for feeling bad about yourself. Does that make sense? And this has struck me so deeply because I really didn't think I ever confused pity for compassion. I remember a long time ago, I heard that in a movie, and it just like stayed in my mind. Like, some people confuse pity for love, and I was like, who does that? Why would you do that? And it like offended me. Well, maybe now I can see why it offended me, because I didn't realize that, oh, I resonate with this. I was vibrating at a frequency of people who giving people pity rather than compassion. So when I talk about pity, giving people excuses for their behavior, enabling them not to face themselves. And recently this came up again because someone who was around me, I had to, like, I was just kind of done, after so many excuses and examples of the behavior and not taking accountability. And, I would encourage you, for me personally, I don't limit me calling people on their bullshit. I don't limit it to romantic partners. It's everyone in my life. If you are in my life, I will absolutely speak up when something bothers me because I value myself. But obviously, I will stop if it's shown that I am not, that it's not reciprocated, right? And when we reach that point, right, where we stop, then I go within and I'm like, wait, this is just a mirror. What is it telling me about myself, And so, yeah, I was just really forced to go deeper within and see, what have I confused pity with compassion and love? And so energetically, I really learned how to strengthen and reinforce energetic boundaries in my heart, where it's like you can be nice and courteous and cordial with someone without exposing your heart to them. Does that make sense? And so in that way, that's just wisdom, right? Taking your energy back. Because I found a lot of people might, that's another form of vampiric energy, where you keep giving your kindness, you keep giving your, and you could still be kind. What I should say is you're giving your emotions, right? Your emotional energy. And if you continue expanding that to them, it can drain your energy, right? You feel it. You feel, it's called enmeshment. You feel maybe their energy laying on your heart space, on the chest. That's what I was feeling. And it's like my grace became, how do I say? I was gracious, meaning like seeing past things, but I was too giving of the energy with that grace. Does that make sense? So you can be gracious with someone and not have pity for them. You can be gracious for someone and say, I understand, but I'm just going to withdraw, right? And you don't even have to explain yourself anymore. But those are strong energetic boundaries. Instead of going and telling someone why you're walking away or why you've quote unquote changed, you don't owe anyone explanation. And this is where I feel compassion is, right? Compassion is when we view others as ourselves, we recognize the mirror. But that doesn't mean we allow people access to us in the same way if they've done things that made us feel uncomfortable, right? So compassion for ourselves is understanding the energetic effects of things, right? And learning how to contain our energy, to hold our energy for ourselves. That's what the boundary does. It let me carry my energy with love, grace, right? And I don't feel bad for you if you say that you did something because you went through this, or because you thought that way, or because you felt that way. No intention, no reason is an excuse for behavior, right? And I've just seen, I guess, the subtle and like very insidious and really, really hidden like ways that manipulation can occur, you know, and just people can attempt to take your energy from you, right? Which is just by always asking for forgiveness, always asking for grace, always asking something from you that you don't feel comfortable giving, even when it's just a boundary. It could just be attention, for example, right? But all that to say, if you resonate with this at all, I would love to understand more in the comments. And I just want to encourage you, like, when you feel you have the wisdom of energetic boundaries, right? And not giving everyone the same kind of access to you, it can be tempting to feel guilty. And just remember that's because you're stepping up in a new way for yourself, right? You're stepping up in a new way that's going to bring you closer to people who really are meant for you, right? So continue going within when those moments come. Continue using everyone is a mirror, right? But then listen to your body and know the boundaries you have to make for yourself, and allow yourself to think of yourself so highly that you honor your boundaries without question. You honor your boundaries without hesitation. And for me, yeah, it's just looked like no one has to know my boundaries anymore. I don't disclose that anymore. Because it's for me. And I don't want to have overextended myself. Like, I don't need anyone to understand me. I don't need them to relate to me. I just need to honor myself, because I'm always that's kind of always positioning myself as the queen on the chessboard. Does that make sense? And so I've even found sometimes if we give our moves away, give our boundaries, if we vocalize them, there are people in our life, maybe it's not their intention, but they will try to find a way around that boundary, right? So this is why I've learned to just be quiet, right? And the right people will ask and inquire of curiosity. Hey, I noticed you've been quiet. Can you let me know? Like, not in a way to try to get access to you, but because they care, because they value a relationship. And I think if you're like me and you've grown up where you feel like you've just been surrounded by people who just want access to your energy, it's you're being put in a position to truly honor yourself, to put yourself first, and without guilt, without second guessing yourself, and just truly trusting your intuition. So if you're going through that, that's the golden nugget. But I would love to hear of your experience and yeah, just thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my videos, and I just know that I do help people now. I have these little packages I can help you with on the phone. I can support you on the phone. I of course have my ebook too. That's all in the description of my YouTube channel. And if you feel you need support with this, if you feel you need help with energetic boundaries, bringing your energy back into yourself and holding it firm, right, instead of continually giving it away or allowing others to interfere with the energetic boundary that you set for yourself. I'm here to help with that. So I'll see you in the next video, and just remember that you are the creator.